Hello everybody and welcome to another glorious Saturday afternoon here live at Rhythmia, which is an incredible healing facility. If you haven't heard about Rhythmia and you're just tuning into this for the first time, it's the most amazing place on the planet. I have traveled the globe as a travel writer, writing about top health retreats, and I ended up not ever wanting to leave here and making it my home and staying here and working and helping people heal through the most transformative protocol I have ever been witness to. It really is such a magical place. And if you'd like to see and read more about Rhythmia, read Ship the Moon Said. There's also an audio version of it. And it's Jerry's book, and it's all about his trips to the moon and his conversations with the moon and how this whole place came into fruition. There's also Mrs. Moon's Medicine, which is a documentary which you can find on YouTube, and also The Reality of Truth, which is how a lot of people come to find out about this place. So please check that out. There's a lot of information online about plant medicine, and there's a lot of stuff coming out in the future. We have Thrive 2 coming out in 2019 now, which is going to be incredible. We have The Medicine, which is all about Taita Juanito, coming out. So there's a lot of things coming out for you to watch and take in, and then get yourselves here and heal like never before. It's a truly, truly, truly magical place. And this week has been nothing less than magnificent, because we've just had 70 guests healing, purging, shitting, getting layers of years of crap out, and then becoming their true self. So going back to the true essence of who they truly are, which is the baby state, the innocent little being inside of us, which we all are before life's crap just got on top. So just definitely watch this incredible interview that I'm about to have. It's going to really open your eyes and make you see that there's a whole different level of healing available to you whenever you choose to come. So this week we've had Luke Sellers, who is an amazing, knowledgeable legend he always comes here. I think he's a regular, like every few months, and he is extremely down to earth, extremely knowledgeable, and he helps people heal through opening the heart, through meditations. He's just wise beyond his years. He knows a lot of shit about a lot of shit. And so we'll talk about that more in this interview. But let's get into it. Today we have Tali Bruce from Utah, who is not only beautiful, witty, and intelligent, she's also a politician. So I just knew I had to get her on this live, because she represents to me the hope that we need in the world, that politicians will and do come and drink medicine and wake up and heal, and then spread that light into some dark places of the planet. So beautiful. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I couldn't not. You've had a wild week.
Had a fabulous week.
Let's get into it. So just start by telling us how you came to find out about the word ayahuasca and where you were in your life. At what point were you at that made you think, I need something else?
So I took on this opportunity to be a politician.
Welcome.
Trump won, and then I went, oh, fuck. And so I looked to see what's the next available thing that I could run for, because I realized we've got this unbalance in the world, not enough women engaging in the political system, in the areas where decisions are being made. And so this city council position was available to run for. And I've done some fantastic things there in city council, but the weight of it was really heavy. And I realized I was going to need some more tools. And then I started looking, and then Anthony Bourdain committed suicide. And I really resonated with him and who he was.
For the people that don't know who he is, can you just say a little bit?
He had a show on the Travel Network, and he traveled all over the world and introduced people to foods of different cultures. But his underlying message was, through food, we can see that we're all one. We're all alike. Humanity is so similar. Our similarities are much greater than our differences. And he was trying to bridge that gap of fear of each other. And he was such a gentle being, and he resonated so many great things. And he had it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had money, he had travel, he had a rich life full of experiences, and then he chose out. And his friend said he had 2 or 3 really dark days before he chose out. And I realized I'm kind of hanging by a thread myself, and I need to do something preventatively, because I could have 2 or 3 days, dark days, and see myself choosing out.
Right.
And so that's when I really started searching for something. And I didn't want to spend any more time thinking about suicide as an option. For me, when I was 17, I had a suicide attempt, and I gathered up all of the drugs in the house, over the counter, and all my parents' prescription drugs, and I just started taking them one at a time. And the first dozen was terrifying. I was taking them, I was scared, I was shaking, I was crying. And then something shifted to where I was empowered. I felt empowered by taking those pills. I was finally taking control of my life by ending it.
Right.
And so that fired in my brain, the neurotransmitter fired and said, this is a way to take control. This is a way to feel empowered.
So whenever it gets tough,
Yeah,
you
so
can
whenever it
choose
gets
to
tough,
get out.
my brain wanted to go there and think that's a possibility. So I kind of struggled with that my whole life. And then in 2012, I had my first neck surgery, and they take the discs out, and the bones are supposed to fuse. And mine, we did 5, 6, and 7. One fused and one didn't. And so I was walking around with just bone on bone with no disc in there, and triggering migraines that were just unbearable. And I would lay in bed and just fantasize about putting a handgun in my mouth. And they went through the back on the second fusion, and they built this artificial neck that my body's never quite accepted, and I just managed a lot of pain. So coming out of that second surgery, I was just miserable. And it was so punishing, because any amount of activity would trigger a migraine. So I was really self a cushion. I felt like my quality of life was just nil, and my kids were getting old enough. I started justifying they're going to be okay.
Right.
They're going to be all right without me. And so I took out a big life insurance policy, and I was going to explain to my children one by one, hey, you've stood witness to my suffering for 3 years now, and you know how bad it is for me, and you're going to have all this money that's going to put you through college and good down payment on your house. And I sat down with my first daughter and told her that, and she just lost it. And it was like, okay, so that wasn't going to work for her.
Well, no amount of money can replace their money.
Right. Right.
But when I totally understand it from your point of view.
Sometimes your physical suffering is just so great, and
of course you're thinking that you're not being everything that you could be for them, so their quality of life is going down, and it's like
I didn't feel like I was any kind of contribution to
Right.
them or the world or to myself. So when that wasn't going to work for my family, I started finding more modalities, and I found things that made the pain endurable. But it's been there with me until this week.
Oh,
I
I
feel
love that.
I feel better than I have felt in 6 years, physically, which is a miracle in and of itself. So
That's incredible.
I got into this political thing,
This political thing, just saving the world one person at a time.
and I wanted a sense of control, like I can make a difference, and there can be hope through action.
Yeah.
And I've been doing some great things. The Tuesday before I came here, my city passed a resolution. We're going to 100% clean, renewable energy.
See how amazing that is.
I know. It was fantastic, and it didn't take away the sadness.
Right.
I felt like I can win a battle or two, but I'm not going to win the war.
Yeah,
And-
you're like thinking about everything and putting the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, I was carrying the weight of the world, and I call it existential angst,
Yes.
and it's so heavy. And one night in the journey, I really got that how silly that was for me to place that expectation on myself.
Yeah.
I mean, hilarious.
Yeah.
that I, little me, can carry the weight of the world.
Aw.
And I was able to set it down. And it's been so heavy. And just, I think a lot of that, this chronic neck pain, has been me carrying the weight of the
it's
world.
symbolic for this
Yeah.
area. So how did you find out about Rhythmia and plant medicine?
So when I started searching, when Anthony committed suicide, and I wanted to take preventative action so that I'd find myself in the dark night of the soul, even though I found that here.
Yes, you have to go through it to get out of it.
And I knew that. I knew this would be an emotional journey. So I started looking for trainings or books or seminars, and I talked to a friend who said, you should talk to this friend. And I found two friends that we weren't close friends. I'm more Facebook friends. I just knew them, and they came here last year. And so they shared with me their experience and how miraculous it was, and how they couldn't really convey it. You know, it's like if you've never eaten an orange before,
Yeah.
and someone's trying to explain to you
Yeah.
how orange is going to taste, and the texture,
Yeah.
and the juice is going to explode in your mouth,
Just
and it's
fucking
going to
juicy. Get one.
it's a little messy, and it's worth it, and it's this and it's that.
Yeah.
And so they didn't even have to explain very much, because it just hit me. I wish I had spent more time studying the neuroplasticity of our brain and how it can be rewired. But when I read just a little bit about ayahuasca can do that.
Yes.
It can rewire your brain. And I thought, I have struggled with bad programming my whole life. If I can just unplug some of that bad circuitry and have an opportunity to rewire it.
Yeah, because you were definitely wired from young with Mormonism.
Yeah, I was raised in a Mormon family, and I came out of the womb and had this sense, wrong everything,
Yeah. Well,
Wrong.
put me back. Different vagina, please.
please, wrong family, wrong culture, wrong religion, wrong everything. And it was just shoved down my throat as a child.
And you had
As
a
the,
deep
as
feeling
the
that
only option. It
was
wasn't for me.
Oh.
It was never for me. And it was shoved down my throat until the point that I almost took my life.
Gosh, babe, you've had it from all angles. It's definitely your calling to wake up. We need the suffering, and it's just like poking at you until you kind of get it, and then do something like this, have the plant medicine, and then shift it. Because I've seen your shift this week has been phenomenal. Like it really has blown my mind. Especially when I heard about, you talking about suicidal thoughts, and that's really scary in itself, and we don't take that lightly at all here. So, I was sent to be on guard and to talk to you, and it was like I felt so empowered myself, because I was like, right, I'm going to stop her from wanting to kill herself. I'm on a fucking mission. And then, 20 minutes later, we're laughing and hugging, and it was just like, I needed that as much as you needed that, because I've also tried to commit suicide in the past, not knowing why, and it was medicine that showed me the depth of my pain. And so I knew that I could share my experience with you. I'm getting fucking goosebumps.
This angel talked me through with the dark night of my soul.
It was a magical moment
It really
for me
was.
too. Like really, I feel like I'm going, hang on one moment. It was. Thank you. Let's get into it, because
So much
her
good.
story is so incredible. Right. So Sunday you got here, and you done breath work. Have you ever done breath work before?
No, I've done a little bit of Kundalini yoga.
Oh, lovely.
It is lovely.
So how was the breath work for
It
you?
was amazing. I was in resistance, and I'm like, okay, just doing it. Just stay.
I know.
Just stay with it.
Yeah. I was like that the first time.
Saying 90% of success is showing up.
Yeah.
Like, just show up. Just go through the motions and be patient. And it works.
And you really loved it? Did you feel the
Yeah.
tingles? Did you feel stuff releasing?
Yeah.
I love that.
When we held our breath, I just popped out of my body. It was like,
Oh,
it's just heavenly. So
beautiful. That's a beautiful start. It really does open you up and allow you to be a clearer vessel for the medicine to come in. So that's on the Monday. And Monday we have Jerry's talk in the morning. Did he put you at ease with his sense of humor?
He's a fantastic presenter.
He is.
Yeah, his storytelling capabilities and his humor.
Somebody said to me, I don't know who swears more, you or Jerry. I was like, I think it's me. He seems to be taming in his old age. No, I love it. Yeah, I love watching him talk. I watch him talk every week and it never gets old. He's always just got a new joke and yeah, he's just...
My profanity's gotten worse with age. My kids are like, we realize that we're all grown up now because now you swear.
yeah, now I'm allowed. F-bombs all around, everybody. It's so descriptive and it's so passionate and I don't know who labeled it a bad word, but it's not bad in my book. Like,
Right. It conveys.
It conveys. So then Monday afternoon, we have Luke Sellers in the house and you went. How was that for you?
Luke's amazing. He's like a walking encyclopedia
Yes.
of all things spiritual and all things wise and all things agape.
Yeah, he's just got something special and he's just so knowledgeable. He has so many different healing modalities. He does muscle testing. He can like just read you and then like, his meditations, he's just an all-round walking everything, isn't he? He's just like, he just knows if you've got any questions about anything, he's got a solution and can help you with anything. It really is incredible to have him here as a regular as well. He comes here a lot. So check him out, Luke Sellers.
And he made a promise to come to Utah.
Did he? Oh, that
Did.
would be
It'd
amazing.
fantastic.
I've never been to Utah. I think I need to go there.
You should come.
I just watched a documentary about, I don't know if it's Mormonism, but it was one man and his wives. And it's like this community of people that think it's okay to have 1 million wives. And I thought, sounds like a pretty good area. But they're all like hiding in the rocks there somewhere. Have you been there?
No, but I've seen that show.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen the show. They're fundamentalist Mormons.
Oh.
So they're practicing Mormonism the way it was originally.
So you weren't from that kind of crazy beliefs. It was more relaxed.
Slightly more relaxed. They don't do plural wives
Oh, okay.
in traditional or standard mainstream Mormonism.
Right.
They don't do.
But still, you felt it was a bit too rigorous for what you needed.
Oh yeah, it's so entrenched in guilt and fear. Everything is guilt and fear. And when I told them, I don't feel the guilt and fear that you're speaking of. You know,
Yeah.
I'm living my life and I'm happy with what I'm doing and I'm not going to change for your story.
Oh, so
And
you stood
so-
up to it.
Yeah, and this was at age 17. I stood up to my
Wow.
bishop and I said, I don't feel the guilt and fear and I'm not going to live this celibate lifestyle
Oh, yeah.
that you want me
Girls
to
gotta
live.
eat.
And so they organized a church court, which is they bring together 12 men to sit around a table and judge you. And they want you to tell your story and they want you to tell details. And in my 17-year-old reality, that would be all of the powerful men in the community, my sister-in-law's father, all these men that are
Oh,
of
fuck
high
that.
callings in the church are going to sit there and judge little 17-year-old me.
I wouldn't ever borrow that for 5 minutes, but growing up in it, like you can't. It would be different. But me now, like if anyone called me to that, I'd be like, no, I'm a bit busy. Hold it without me. But like growing up in that, the fear and like being forced into that kind of environment, I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
Going
at
through that.
17, I thought this was my whole known universe, and they're coming together to judge me and shame me, and I thought, I don't fit into your box. I never will fit into your box. I'd rather leave than try to live in your box.
I love you. What were your parents saying? Were they?
So
And
our family didn't communicate. We never spoke of anything of any depth, and we still don't.
Right.
And after, when I don't know, I woke up in the ER, and there's sheets around your little, what do they call the things you're on, a gurney?
Yeah.
So there's just sheets, so you can hear all the conversation on the other side of the sheets. And the bishop came there to the ER and spoke to my parents and wanted to talk to me. And my parents said, no, you can't talk to her. And it was the first time I felt like they had ever they took a stand for me over the church, which was huge.
And why were you in the ER? Was that because of
the overdose?
The overdose. So when was the meeting? Was that after the overdose?
It was supposed to be that night.
Oh.
And I did it the day of the court. I wasn't going. I know.
I am fucking lost for words for once.
And the sad thing, in my culture, we have the highest youth suicide rate in the nation per capita. And I know exactly why.
Because of
I know exactly
Mormonism?
why. It's so heavy, and if you don't fit into their box, there's just no tolerance for you. There's really, you have to live within the box or you're not accepted. And we have a very high youth homelessness rate because it's not okay to be gay and to be Mormon.
So then they just kind of flee, or is it like the families kind of reject you if you don't want part of it? Did that happen to you, or did your family, were they quite supportive?
No, I never felt very supported in my family. It's not a supportive environment.
So then after that dark night, did you have to have that meeting again, or did you kind of shun it from then?
So they stopped making me go to church. They didn't kick me out of the house, so that was nice.
Well, yeah. But the thing is, it's like, why did it have to take you to do something so dramatic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like then they thought, oh my God, she's serious. Let's not mess with that, you know. She's in an unstable condition. Let's just give her
enough that she just lives.
Yeah, exactly. And then so from then on, did you have to like practice, or did you have to kind of join in with the family thing, or were you able to be you in a sense?
Yeah. I was able to
So you kind of saved your life by trying to take it. Mm-hmm. And now I can understand why you would have fused, like, I got my power back from that, because you're like, well, look what happened. Like, you know, I'm not being forced to do everything. So if it gets tough again, then. So that would have, from such a young age as well, from 17.
Yeah, I didn't want to I've spent so much of my life just thinking about it as a possibility.
Yeah.
And I don't want to waste any time or energy even entertaining those thoughts anymore. I wanted to unplug that circuit.
And I'm so glad
and just let it go.
So let's get into the medicine then, because I know that has happened, and I didn't know the depth of your story till now, like the depth, and like, I'm even more inspired by you, and so glad. No, you seriously are amazing. Seriously.
You're such an angel. I see your halo.
Oh.
That's right.
Let's get into it, because we've got some good stories to share. So Monday night, how was that for you with Anka and Mary Lou?
So Monday, I got very sick. Like, I didn't know. I knew it was going to be hard. This journey was going to be hard. And I thought it was more emotionally hard. It was physically hard. Like, I was violently ill. And I thought, God, I'm not getting anything out of this, you know? And it's not working for me.
Yeah, no, I'm just ill.
I'm just so sick.
Yeah.
And, but I tried to hang on to the notion, even if I'm not seeing visions or hearing voices or doing that kind of healing, there's the possibility it's working on my brain.
Yeah.
It's doing some things to my brain, and I will suffer through any amount of puke or shit to heal my brain.
Oh, well, of course, if you know that it's wired in a dodgy way, and you know that, and you know it just needs to be rewired, then you'll go through anything. Yes. So did you puke and shit a lot that night?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, there's a lot of toxins that need to come out, you know, especially if you've taken overdoses and not been too kind to your body because you didn't want to be here, you know, more often than not, then the medicine would have wanted to cleanse that out, to get rid of the debris and the gunk that's been holding on and keeping you like in that deep, dark space and that heavy load, so to free you. But it's not pretty, it's not comfortable, it's not nice, you know, sometimes it's not unicorns and rainbows like we would love, but there's the growth in that. It's just so beautiful. And some people say, you know, oh, I feel like sick, I feel like I'm ill, this is making me ill. But it's like, no, it's making you better. This is not like tequila shots on a Friday night, you know, that is poison in your system and then you're puking and shitting because you're poisoned. This is a sacred plant medicine that is making you feel these things to make you better. But we have to get worse to get better. We have to release all of this crap to get on the other side. And that's what like was happening to you. It was like the darkness was just removing so that you could feel the lightness. And then you did get that, didn't you, eventually? So,
Yes.
So was that your Monday night, just feeling like crap all night, puking,
Wow.
shitting, and but you knew that something was going on, just a deep knowing and a
makes
deep,
sense.
like a trust as well. You just trust, and you're like, well, I'm here, like I drank this medicine, do your thing. So then Tuesday, how was Tuesday night for you?
So Tuesday, I had a lot of knowingness. I saw some psychedelic imagery. I did Monday night as well.
Like sacred geometry.
Sacred geometry.
And,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Tiny little boxes, like with hard to explain.
Yeah, I know. I always try, and it's just
A lot of geometry
Yeah.
in motion with a lot of colors and activity, and Tuesday night, I've been angry at my body for 6 years, since the neck fusions, and I've just cursed it, resented it, and just been so mad at it, and I've got celiac disease, and I asked Tuesday, why am I still suffering with this neck pain? And my body said, you suffering, I've been waiting patiently for 6 years for you to show me just a little bit of kindness. I've been I really got that my body is like a living entity.
Yeah.
That just wants
Needs
some
love,
kindness,
yeah.
needs some love,
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
some appreciation,
Yeah, yeah.
needs a little gentleness. And I've just been nothing but angry and mean to me.
But what a beautiful realization. She comes in and makes us aware of something that we're just so asleep to and not awake to. And it's so simple, but we're just walking through life, on autopilot mode and just in our own little negative mind loop and in our own little world. But you've had years of, trauma within you. So you can be gentle on yourself and give yourself a break, because at least now you know. It's like you were born into a life that you didn't ask for, you didn't have much choice, and so you've had this autopilot like running inside with these voices and just putting yourself down because there's just this constant like fear mongering around you. And so you've been literally living the conditioned life like to a T. Well done. But the beautiful thing is that you know now. And how did that feel when you like had that realization that, oh my gosh, I just need to be a little bit more gentle?
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, body, that I haven't been loving you and taking care of you and putting good nutrients in you and doing yoga for you. And
And your sharing on Tuesday, that was what done it for me. When you said you were a politician, I was like, praise the Lord! We have a politician drinking. Right, I wonder if she knows Trump. La, la, la. Let's see if we can get them all here. And it was just beautiful. And your sense of humor, and then you shared about the Mormonism, and I just thought, this girl is a rock star, like, for what you've been
so
through.
I was eating lunch with Luke.
Yes. On the Tuesday?
Before the Tuesday night.
Yes.
Tuesday day.
Yeah.
Tuesday at lunchtime. And Luke was saying how great the world would be if all the politicians came here and did this. And I went, I'm a politician.
Exactly, babe. I say this all the time. And then when I heard you say it, I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. It's just like when we have medical doctors here and people from all different professions, because it's just like one person going in and just planting your seeds, just being your new shiny self, and then somebody wanting to know, well, what have you been doing? And then it just sparks that. And because you got into politics to make a positive change and not to think about the greed or the power, you want to be a voice for the people and have change because of your upbringing as well, to find true justice for people that are shrouded in a world of corruption and darkness and false beliefs. So it's just beautiful that I got to meet you and see that there are, because my conditioned mind, and I'm fucking a big conspiracy theorist, so I just think there's so much shit going on in the world that I'm like, is there any good politicians out there? And I know there are, but I've never met one.
That's the gift of Trump. So there's so many of me that like ran out and ran for office, and they're everywhere now and vote because they're out there and they're running and they're trying to make a difference. And if the right people will vote, because you know the fear-mongering people are voting.
Yeah.
The people who are consumed with their amygdala.
Yeah.
And they're just, fear is ruling their life. They're voting. And the people they're voting in are coming from a place of fear.
Yes.
So
it's so much fear.
We need enlightened and loving and people coming from love to really vote.
This is why we need you to go and just spread your little seed around your people.
When you asked me to do this interview, I thought, oh, what if some of the voters back home see this? Which is, a real possibility. And I thought, I love me enough. I'm going to live in my authenticity. And if that means I'm not reelected, so be it.
Yes.
Far more important that I live authentically and that I love and value my experience and my walk. I won't live my life for the approval or good opinion of anyone else.
I love that. And that's what, when I asked you to do the interview, I was just like, if you want to, because I know that it's hard, people sitting here and saying that, revealing their darkest nights on this medicine to people that just don't understand and have been conditioned to think it's a drug and it's bad. Mm-hmm. But you do have to live in your truth, especially with such neck trauma going on. It's like, this is your communication point. So to have your truth be suppressed for so long and to cause neck issues as well, it's like now it's time for you to really heal on all different levels, mind, body, and soul, and speak your truth. And that's what made me so proud of you, because I was just like, yeah, you could get some people in your walks of life that might turn their nose up at you. But I think what you'll find is there are more people that are receptive to this than let on. It's like it really is. It's like, because people just don't know and they don't know who to talk to. But inside, we're all spiritual beings, and inside our souls are yearning for something more. And so, a lot of politicians might be suppressing that, to fit in with their peers. But you're the light that will literally shine the light on their light and make them open up. I really believe in that, and I really fucking love you for doing that.
I love you too.
You're amazing. So then Tuesday was good?
Tuesday was fabulous. I got so much knowingness. Yep. Just so many messages about be kinder to yourself. You're pretty fucking fantastic. And you deserve to be nice to yourself. Yeah. I'm like, oh, wow, what a revelation.
Beautiful. And have you noticed that from then you have caught yourself maybe going into a negative loop, but then trying to be nicer to yourself? Because it's not like an overnight fix. It's just like you just observe and catch yourself going in a negative loop, but then with this newfound knowledge, you're like, no, shut up. Right. I'm amazing. I don't know who you're talking to, but it ain't this chick. It just becomes like that.
It's like we've unplugged all of those neuroreceptors.
Yes.
And now I'm at choice on how I want to plug them back in. And it's like, if that negative thought comes up, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I'm just going to plug it in over here.
Right.
Thanks
I'm
for
not
that.
listening. Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
Cleaned the hard drive. I'm not going to reload the viruses.
Yes, I love that. So then Wednesday, how was that for you?
So Wednesday we did the same plant medicine as Monday. So I was really pissed.
Yes.
Because I felt like Monday wasn't the right brew for me.
So you didn't like the effect that Monday gave you?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I was so sick.
So fuck, I'm going to be sick again.
Right. So I just went into this really pissy space of
which
really
needed to come out.
Yeah. And I raged a little bit and
good.
Told some staff about my rage.
Yeah, no, good.
And they were very kind.
Yeah. We've heard it all, babe.
I bet. And so I left and took some self-care.
Yeah.
I'm like, clean my system. And then I debated, do I even go back on night 4? But Tuesday I got so many great messages. And that's the beauty of having a different brew every night. It was like, not all brews work the same.
Yeah.
And, if you're doing this in some teepee somewhere on a dirt floor,
which thank God we're not.
Yeah, I would have been really scared,
Yeah.
you know, like about what I had just ingested. And
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, because like a lot of people drink the medicine and they think they're being poisoned. We hear that so much. It's like, this is not feeling right. I've been poisoned. What have you given me? And it's just because it's so far removed from anything we've ever taken. Like, you know, I can totally appreciate when people think they're being poisoned, because if your body is convulsing and you're feeling physically sick and you actually feel like you might die, then of course your mind is going to tell you that something is wrong. It's like, I'm being poisoned. I've never felt like this before. But because it's such a sacred medicine and you have to release trauma, we just have to go in and like know that, okay, I might feel shit and I might feel like I'm being poisoned, but this is so far removed from being poisoned. This is a plant, this is a vine, and this is a leaf joined together, which has been used for 5,000 years to heal people. So it's like this whole new level of trust of like, okay, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
I'm not going to understand, and I'm not going to add logic to most of it, but I'm in safe space and I just need to like ride through it, you know? It's like,
I would think if you woke up in the middle of surgery, your perception would be, these people are torturing me.
yes.
But if you realize I'm in surgery, I'm healing.
Which is why we say to people, like, don't leave, because it's such a sacred space, and it's like you've been anesthetized, you know? And imagine if you had been anesthetized, but then like during surgery, you got up and just left. It's like the surgery isn't done, like the work isn't done. And so we need everyone to stay like in the space, because that's where the ceremonies happen. That's where the spirits are coming. That's where the prayers are happening. It's like a contained container, but it still doesn't stop a few people going running. But this is why we don't come and get you to make you feel bad, or that, you know, we're like on you, or you're not free. And especially coming from where you felt trapped your whole life, it's more just like, you're safer with us, you know? It's like, because you're on this medicine, and especially like with your thoughts and your thought process and stuff, it's like we need to just make sure everybody is safe. And I'm so glad that it all like worked out in the end, because Wednesday you got through that. And it's like the wave, isn't it? It's like, so you had the shit on Monday, and then you're like, what, the shit on Monday? And then you come up on Tuesday, and then you're like, rrr, and then Thursday. And this was what happened. It's like the waves. Like you had to go through hell this week, because you've been living fucking hell in your mind and with your barriers and like people's beliefs on you. So it's like, if you hadn't have gone to hell and it all been roses, I would have been like, wow. You know what I mean? It's like, because you've got to go through deep trauma to get, you've got to feel it on its way out. It's like a last hurrah.
Yes.
It's like, okay, see you later. So then Thursday,
Yes.
how was that? That's where this little love affair really happened.
Oh, forgot one fabulous story for Tuesday
I
night.
love fabulous stories. Go for it.
So Tuesday night, when we were going up for the second serving, so we were in line, and I was approaching the front, the altar at the temple of the sacred space.
This is a good story.
So I am like second in line from being to the shaman, and the symbolism of the sacred space and the altar, it triggered that Mormonism in the back of my psyche, and I started looking for the nearest bucket. And I asked a staff member to the side, and she pointed at the one right behind the shaman, and I just lunged at it, started vomiting, and right there on the altar. And
as you do,
it was
very symbolic.
Yeah. All the years of Mormonism was shoved down my throat.
Yeah.
Came back up and
on
out.
the altar.
I gave it up on the altar. I gave it all up, and I gave it all back.
That's such a beautiful experience. Like, if you think about it in relation to like what you've been through, and then to purge it all out on a sacred altar, but just to really like release all of that, because that must have been weighing you down.
The ego popped up and said, oh God, this is embarrassing. But myself, my knowingness was in such a loving space for me.
Yeah.
It's like,
you're like, fuck it.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I deserved that experience.
Yeah.
I deserved to get that shit out.
Yeah, I needed that out. And what better than on sacred ground?
Yeah, it was very holy.
Well
It was
done,
my
Faye.
offering.
Yeah. It's all right, we'll take it, don't worry.
Thank you for taking that.
That was beautiful. When you shared that on Tuesday, that really made me smile. Because it's just amazing how little things tie in here and how it all works out in such a symbolic, harmonious way to exactly what each person and their story and their healing journey needs. Like, you really can't make half this shit up. It's just incredible how it works.
Tuesday night, I started sharing, and I just couldn't shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Trying to keep the language clean.
Yes.
But I realized I am a politician. You get me on a platform and I start speaking and
Yes.
blah, 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 blah. I had so many things to share Tuesday night, just so many insights and so many profound.
You really did have a big
Realizations.
night. I could feel your energy at the end of Tuesday, because you did keep popping up. Your head just kept popping up with these one-liners. With what you'd shared, and you could see your energy, and so it was beautiful to observe. But then obviously, like, you had the high, but then you went back down to the low, because it was. It's like you cleared a layer, blah, blah, and then it's like, okay, feeling great, but then it's like, no, there's more depth. You can go deeper, which is why you go down again, and then drag that up. Get it out, and then Thursday. What happened for you Thursday?
Thursday was pretty great. I started with just a tiny first surgery, and I was present. I had some kind of intestinal healing. There's a flower here that looks like the tail of the Avatar in the movie. You know, the tail that flutters infinite. There's a flower here that looks just like that. And that flower was in my large, went all the way through my intestines.
All over the shop.
All of them. And it fluttered this light, beautiful light, just so luminous that it was shining outside of the intestine, all the way through the intestinal wall. And it went all the way through my digestive tract, which I was really grateful for, because I've had celiac disease and stomach issues most of my life, and didn't know it, been mismanaging it, and
how do you feel now?
Wonderful.
Oh.
And the food here, this is a celiac dream come true.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like the food is fantastic.
Oh, and you can definitely feel like a shift.
Yeah.
That's so, and definitely with your neck, you feel
so much better. Like, wow.
Did you feel any like light going in these areas?
Light. Yeah.
It's like light surgery, because that's what I absolutely love. Whenever I have got anything going on, I feel, sometimes I see the energy like pushing on me and then going in me, and then I just know I'm being worked on. I don't know what, it's an energy, it's a light, but something is going on, and then I'm so free in the morning.
The really cool part, Thursday, the first half, I was with it enough, I was able to observe others and kind of walk around and take things in, and I observed our friend on the grass.
Oh yes.
He was speaking some foreign languages.
Yeah, we had Greg, who comes here a lot. He's amazing. Hi, Greg. Had a wild night. Ended up having to get tied up to save him from himself, because he came up to me before drinking the medicine on Thursday, and he said, "I'm going to channel a past life." That was his intention, and I was like, "Good work. Let me know how that goes." It wasn't even an hour later, I could hear him like speaking fluent Chinese, and he's doing karate chops and karate kicks. So we removed him outside so not to disturb everybody. And then he was having a wild time on the grass, literally like laying on his back and doing flips to kick himself up to standing. Now, I know 100% he definitely could do that in a past life. But, he's a bigger guy now, and so we didn't want him to hurt himself by doing these like Chun-Li moves. And so we just restrained him for his own good. And then I just sat with him and talked to him, and he had loads of people coming to help him. But it was a big event for everyone, because he was really shouting some stuff like Jesus is back on the planet, and really like channeling all these different energies. And I spoke to him today, and he shared in the closing circle, and he just said he had the most profound night. He really did channel past lives. He really did feel like he was connected to God and everything, and nothing all at once. So it was beautiful, wasn't it?
I was next to him on Wednesday night, and bunkmates, and I could tell he was other places.
Yes.
Every time I would look at him, he was somewhere else. And I looked back over at one point, and for a split second I went, he's morphed into a dog.
Oh my God.
But he had actually left, and the dog was laying in his bed. I thought, wow, he really is going. But it was a dog. It was a real dog.
That's hilarious. No, it's funny. I could imagine thinking that on the medicine. So, how was it being next to him on Wednesday? Was he going? Did he speak any Chinese languages then?
I didn't hear any. Yeah, I didn't hear him speaking.
I think it was Thursday.
Thursday. He was for sure, and
He
it
was.
wasn't just like jibber jabber. It was
No.
a definite language.
And he doesn't know how to speak Chinese. This is how incredible this is. His intention was to channel a past life. And I'm pretty sure in this life he can't do the moves that he was attempting to do. And he was really good at it, but then we thought, you're going to hurt yourself here. So then it just became like, let's protect him in a little love bubble. And he's absolutely fine now. But he really was definitely channeling a past life, without a doubt.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to observe.
Yeah, it was, because then after that, I was sent on a mission to come and get you. Our little escapee had decided that she wanted to leave, and then we got calls, that she was having suicidal thoughts, and so we don't take that lightly whatsoever. That it's just it's serious, because you just don't know how people are going to feel and what they're going through and where they've come from. So then I got sent to go and see her, and it was so beautiful, because I could just see that it was just the weight of the world on you. And once I picked your brain a bit and realized that you just had enough of like the pain in the world and not being able to do so much, and then I kind of just went in and made you realize, like, you are doing enough. You are doing more than enough. Like, you just being you is enough. You being in the political world is brilliant. Like, you changing like the scope of Utah and what you are doing and bringing, and like raising consciousness about Mormonism and conditioned beliefs and everything else. No one else could do that like you. And so then we're instilling goddessness. And then it was just beautiful to observe and see you like come out of that dark space. And it was like I said, it was very, very, very healing for me, because I genuinely thought, there's no fucking way you're leaving the planet, love. I've just met you and I won't let you do it.
So it wasn't my intent to go back to my room on Thursday.
Yeah.
I would have stayed had I not shit my pants.
No, it happens. Never trust a fart on your hay, people. Best advice you'll ever get.
So in the course of my intestinal problems, I've had my sigmoid colon removed,
Oh.
and I've had cancerous polyps, and they got them out, and I haven't had to do any treatment for that. But not having that sigmoid, that's like your backstop on your sink.
Oh, I see.
So for me,
So you're like, oh, no wonder we showered like 3 times.
if you turn on the hose.
Oh, I see.
So that was, so it was very liberating, because I went to the bathroom, just threw my shitty pants in the garbage,
Yes.
walked back to my room in my shirt.
Fucking fantastic. And she's got this silk pajama shirt on as well, and a little panties, so you know.
So yeah, so but then I spiraled into this dark place, like, it's not working for me. Maybe I am broken beyond help. I was just, and I was almost like in a cave or a tunnel, and I was trying to like find, where's the sadness?
Yeah.
Why is there so much sadness? And
Yeah.
I couldn't see it. I was just lost in it. I went to a really dark night of the soul, and so that's when I made the call.
Yeah.
Called the operator, Help.
So, well, it's beautiful that you did that, and because we need to go through these dark spots to go through and find the light, you know, because it's like you have beautiful children and you have like Utah and your little, you know, your life that you've created is there, and it's like waiting for you to be the true you know, it's like for you. And so we have to go through these dark spots, and I'm just glad that I was there to be able to like witness and like see that and help you through it, because it really did genuinely help me too. And then I just became your little chaperone all night. Whenever I saw you trying to escape, I'm like, oh love, I'm on your case. Yeah, I was like, I've got to come with you, sorry babe. But it was beautiful, because then after that I saw you up dancing and smiling, and I was just observing, and I was like, wow, you know, an hour ago she was talking about not wanting to be here anymore, and like I could really see and feel your pain. And then I was looking at you and just thinking, wow, you're glowing. You really are what I talk about on Thursdays, like the afterglow. You really had that. I could really see it. And I have Jeff messaging me, because when you went to the shower, he's like, okay, keep talking to her while she's in the shower, just in case, you know, she does anything to harm herself. And I'm like, Jeff, she's absolutely great. We've had the best talk, you know, because it's just like we really do care. But I could just see that wasn't part of you. It was as if it just like it rode through you, got you to the point of like feeling like that again, and then left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to like the back of the cave, and you were talking to me, and you're like, you don't have to have the answer. You don't have to have the exact why all this sadness exists. And like, you know, I can just set it down.
Yeah.
I don't have to carry the weight of the world. I can just set it down. It's enough to be. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be joyful.
Yeah.
And I guess I've felt for the last couple of years like being joyful was being in denial of all the pain and suffering in the world. That if I don't carry that pain and suffering on my shoulders at all times, that I'm not being compassionate to all the suffering in the world.
See, we
That's
load
so
ourselves
heavy.
with dodgy belief systems,
Yeah.
but coming from where you have been raised and like molded, there's so many belief systems that have been bestowed upon you that aren't yours, and so of course you're gonna be wired for having belief systems that like aren't gonna serve you, you know. Because it's like I saw that. I spoke to you for 5 minutes in your room, and I instantly saw the issue, and I thought I can unfuck your mind with you. Let's talk for 5 minutes. And it was literally just seeing that you were just in a conditioned state that wasn't even true. I was like, you're telling yourself bullshit stories, and like you're in your own way, and it's just as simple as changing your mind, letting it go, don't hold on to it. And then it was such a freeing experience. And then to see you like dancing around and enjoying everything and really happy, and then the growth since then, and just to see the difference, like you really have shifted. I don't know, this medicine is just so amazing. Like when you drink her, it's like we see people come in, and it's like there's just a little bit of like life, like heaviness on people's face, you know? And then it's like everyone just gets better looking when they leave. It's just like it's like this glow, like this glow of we're dancing. I just saw like you beaming, and I thought she truly has healed on the most deepest level. You know what I mean? Like the deepest, like not wanting to be here anymore, to having, like we were talking about your 2019 goals, you know, to having and knowing that you are needed and that you can't leave until, you know, the time is right.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Well done, babe.
And so many, like so many lessons. It's